1, 2, 3, come on!
Come on, come on.
Hi, once again, welcome to my YouTube channel, Rizal Delightful Lessons. And at this moment, I am very much eager to share to you steps to follow in making your module and what are these parts of the module that you need to know before making your material. So these are all suggestions as suggested by our SDO Manila, and I credit all this information I am sharing to you now. Enjoy! Of course, let us know first what is Learning Module. Learning Module is a tool that provides course materials in a logical, sequential order, guiding students through the content and assessments in the order specified by the educator. Which means that this is another tool that we can use to deliver education to our students amid this pandemic situation in our country. So we are doing our best to address different learning modalities amid this pandemic, as I have mentioned earlier. Education must continue. Modules can be online or offline, but this video will focus on printed or offline modules. So let's start. Okay, so these are the suggested steps in making your printed modules. Step 1. You need to get a copy of the DepEd Most Essential Competencies, or the MELCs. So you should have at least your soft copy or your hard copy on these MELCs. Why? Because these MELCs enables you to focus instruction to most essential and indispensable competencies. Of course, this is another adjustment from our curriculum to our curriculum guide because of our new normal situation. So they have focused on the most essential learning competencies we use this school year 2020-2021. So these MELCs, or the most essential learning competencies, can be downloaded from the different portals. First, we have the DepEd LR portal. So you may also go to http://lrmds.deped.gov.ph/. Next portal is the DepEd Manila, or you may go to http://www.depedmanila.net/. This is the DepEd Manila FB page. Of course, you may also visit DepEd Philippines, which is the official DepEd FB page of our department, or you may log into http://www.deped.gov.ph/. And of course, you may also visit this page, which is the latest initiative of our Department of Education. #DigitalRisePH, #WeAreOneDepEdPH, and #SulongEduCalidad. So you may also download the MELCs via http://commons.deped.gov.ph/. Now let's proceed to the next step, which is revisiting your first is your curriculum guide, or the CG. So I believe you have downloaded it already. So you go over and look for the most essential learning competencies as mandated by our DepEd. Second is the teacher's guide, or the TG. So I I also know that you have already downloaded, you have already hard copies of your teacher's guide or your teaching. Third is your learning guide or the LG. Fourth is your daily learning plan or your DLP. I believe that you are already expert in making your DLPs, and you have followed that and you are following that plan, most especially every day in our teaching and learning experiences. Is your daily lesson log or the DLL. So scan them, revisit them, and whatever relevant and significant lesson that you can use which is in line with our mail, then you are free to use them. And of course, for sixth and the last is the activity sheets or the AS we are giving and providing to our learners. So you can also use this one in making your worksheets and modify your activity sheets, align it to your mail, then hooray, you have already a material. Now we are ready for the next step, which is know and follow the template. Always bear in mind that you need to follow whatever templates given to you by your superiors in order that your materials to be validated and ready to use by your learners. Therefore, it is important to know these standards. What are the parts of this module before you make your material? Of course, your module for the first page or the front page must have the grade level, the subject, the quarter, what week and what day, and most importantly, the learning competency. This must be manifested or reflected on the front page. The next part of this module is very important because it gives an important reminders to your learners. At the same time, their facilitators could be their parents, their guardians, and other family members. Now let's find out how to use this module. 1. Follow carefully all the contents and instructions indicated in every page of this module. 2. Write on your notebook or any writing pad the concepts about the lessons. Writing enhances learning that is important to develop and keep in mind. 3. Perform all the provided activities in the module. 4. Let your facilitator, guardian assess your answers. 5. Analyze conceptually the post-test and apply what you have learned. And of course, the most important thing is enjoy studying. So this reminds your learners what to do upon receiving the material. Now let us see what are the concrete parts of this module. First is expectations. These are what you will be able to know after completing the lessons in the module. So you can see in these expectations the objectives, the specific objectives or goals in a specific lesson. So this is expectations. So let's proceed to the next part, which is the pretest. This part will measure your prior knowledge and the concepts to be mastered throughout the lesson. So it is important that you need to activate the prior knowledge of your learners by giving them a pretest. And the pretest may be in a form of a multiple choice type of test. So this is the part we call it as a pretest. Now let us move on to the next part. So we are done with the expectations, pretest, and we have the next part, which is looking back. For the looking back is just like it's a review. This section will measure what learnings and skills that you understand from the previous level. So your learners will have to review what they have learned in the past or from the previous lessons. So it's up to you now. How will you make it very engaging? You're looking back, your review part of your module. Now let's proceed to the next part, which is the brief introduction. It is also important. The brief introduction, these are activities designed to develop critical thinking and other competencies. This can be done with or without a partner depending on the nature of the activity. So, giving a brief introduction to your subject is very important. Now, let's proceed to the next part, which is remember. So this remember is as if you are giving generalization. This section summarizes the concepts and applications of the lesson. So in your remember part of your module, it is also important to make it as fill in the blanks so that you will know if they grasp the concepts of the subject matter. This is the remember part. Next is checking your understanding. This part will verify how your learners learn from the lesson. So they will check by themselves how they understood the lesson from the other parts of the modules. So checking your understanding part. So let's proceed to the next part, which is the post-test. So this will measure how much your learners or your students learn from the entire module. So you started it with a pre-test. Now you need to administer by giving them exercises or activities on the post-test. Because giving your pre-test and post-test is one way of knowing your learner's strengths and weaknesses before and after your lesson. Giving you this post-test, you can really identify if your learners really understood the lesson. So this is the post-test parts of the module. Now we also have the reflective part, wherein you can also give another activity. Then assessment is very important, evaluation, and for them to know if they got the correct answers or not, you provide them answer key. But your answer key must be at the end and it must be presented in an upside down, so they cannot cheat. So to avoid that situation, so you can do it in upside down. And of course, we need to acknowledge our references, our sources, may it be online, books, or any other references. So you need to put it under references. So now let us review on the different parts of the module. Front page or cover page, expectations, pretest, looking back, brief introduction, remember, checking your understanding, post-tests, reflective, assessment, answer key, and of course, references. So be guided when you make your module. If you are from the Division of Manila, these are the parts. So good luck and enjoy making your modules. Once again, this is Rizal Delightful Lessons. Have a good day!